Hey, and welcome to my guide on Petal, the War Cleric. I play Petal in my duel campaign with my friend Brent. She's also the Dark Urge. She tries to be good, she tries to listen to her god, but we're just trying to be the good boys and girls. I find War Cleric to be a competent melee fighter, a decent healer, especially in a tough spot, and an excellent mage. In all circumstances. Great spellcasting DC means a pocket of scrolls is always going to be useful. The gear that I use is meant to make Petal into a fantastic frontliner, somebody who is hard to hit, hard to incapacitate, hard to lock down, hard to just stop. She excels at support, she has all the utility in the world with all the cleric spells, and I think she may be my favorite PC in the game after 10 different playthroughs. Top to bottom, her hat is the gibus of the worshipful. Momentum is nice. It helps me use Spirit Guardians to the fullest extent, especially on the early turns. It's not that important really compared to forcing advantage on concentration saving throws. This is feat level insane good. This is a wonderful piece of gear. It's sold by Helldusk at the Devil's Fee. You need to unlock her special stock if she doesn't have it right away. The cloak the Petal uses is the Cloak of Protection. AC is great. It makes AI not want to shoot you. +1 to all saving throws is almost as good. This is sold by the Quartermaster in the last Light Inn in Act 2. The Armour of Persistence. This armor forces resistance and blade ward 24/7. That's good enough right there. The reduction to all incoming damage by 2 is great. 20 AC, fantastic. There are lots of other armors, but I like this one. Damon sells this in Act 3 as long as you get him there. The gloves are the Luminous Gloves. Many classes can take advantage of the debuff that they provide. I really love helping my team, giving the enemy a glow up, so to say. Dealing radiant damage gives the target a radiant orb, which gives that target a -1 to attack rolls and illuminates them. This is located in Act 2 near the ambush spot, the potter's chest. The Helldusk boots. They have infernal evasion. If you have your reaction, you can choose to succeed if you fail the savings throw. The thing I'm looking for most is cannot be forcibly moved by spells or actions, and ignoring difficult terrain is just a bonus. In Act 3 I'm usually part illithid, so difficult terrain is not usually a problem. It's fun, but not important. Simply not being able to be moved by enemy actions is the most important thing. These boots can be found on top of Worm's Rock and Gortash's stashes. The amulet of the devout. The amulet is not the most important slot, but utility is key. I often use another amulet to regain a level 6 spell slot after a long rest to cast Aid and to cast Hero's Feast. Then wear this amulet throughout the day for combat. You can find it in the Stormshore Tabernacle basement, but be careful. It also has a +2 to spell save DC and gives me an extra use of my Channel Divinity. Couldn't ask for better. The first ring, the Band of the Mystic Scoundrel. While Petal doesn't melee every round, she does quite often, and using a bonus action to cast an illusion or enchantment spell is just great. Sometimes you can make whole crowds grovel, sometimes you can cast hold monster, hold person. It can really save a round of combat. This ring is a bit of a trip to get, but if you cheat at the Djinn station at the circus, you get to explore Chult and find this ring. The Ring of Protection, +1 AC and +1 to your saving throws, just like the cloak. This is an Act 1 item that is quite difficult to get without killing everybody at the Grove. You have to steal the idol that everybody is praying to. I did this by casting Darkness, picking up the idol, and putting it into a chest nearby that I had dropped. I then picked up the chest and teleported out to a waypoint, and it counted as a theft instead of treason. So after everybody settled down, I could give the idol to Mole, and she gave me the ring, and everybody was copacetic. Petal's weapon is the Deva Mace, a 1d6 bludgeoning plus 4d8 radiant. This is the best bonker in the game. If you want to know how to get it, just watch one of my other videos. The bow that I'm using is the Gontr Mael. It is a legendary bow that is, in my opinion, even better than the Darkfire shortbow. The Gontr has Celestial Haste, which is a 5-turn haste, but doesn't leave you exhausted at the end. For this reason alone, the bow is worth wearing. Special mention to the Darkfire shortbow. This is sort of an earlier version of this same bow. It also comes with fire resistance and cold resistance, and the haste spell. My shield is the Sentinel shield. It has a +3 bonus to initiative rolls, which means I can tank my dexterity and not really suffer. It also gives me advantage on perception ability checks. I find this to be extremely useful, especially with Volo's Eye. You can really spot all the invisible creatures in Act 2 very easily with this. On to the buff list. There's a lot of buffs in this game. Some of them are temporary, some of them are permanent, some of them are things that you cast, some of them are cantrips. There's lots of different ways that you can augment your character. First is Lovitar's Love. In Act 1, at the Goblin Camp, you can let the sadist turn you into a masochist. Below 30% HP, you gain +2 to attack rolls and wisdom saving throws for 3 turns. It's not very good, but it's fun. The Githzerai Mind Barrier. This gives you advantage on intelligence saving throws. To get it, solve the puzzle in the basement of the tower in Act 2. The big brain puzzle. Then go get the Waking Mind, use it on the pedestal, and do what it asks. Bless Plus. I'm calling it Bless Plus because you can buy a statue of your character from the mephit at the carnival. It gives you Bless every long rest. You only get 1 statue per save, so have fun fighting over that. Aid. Aid is a cleric spell that gives you +5 HP for each level above its base casting level. I find this to be a great bonus. It makes your characters much stronger. I would cast Aid as early as possible. If you get Aid on a shield or another item, it is a wonderful spell, and you should always use it. Thoroughly Stuffed comes from the Hero's Feast, a level 6 spell. It summons a chest of food, which is nice, but really the reason I get it is for the +12 HP. It also gives you immunities to poison and other things, but the 12 HP is really what I get it for. Elixirs, sort of a player's choice. You can choose whatever elixir you want that gives you whatever bonus you want. I really like the Bloodlust elixir. It gives you an extra action and 5 temporary hit points after every kill. Anointed in Splendor. If you gift a god 5,000 or more gold at the Tabernacle in Act 3, after each long rest, you can pray at this statue and get a bonus. It's +2 to all saving throws. Really easy, really cheap, repeatable, and you can steal your gold back if you're evil. Produce Flame. This is an interesting cantrip that druids also have. It sheds light, and that's what I like about it. It reduces the amount of times Petal would have to attack a target obscured by darkness. You can also throw it like a firebolt if you have to, but I like to hold it. It looks cool. Speak with the Dead recast. So you can recast Speak with the Dead without expending a spell slot. Pretty self-explanatory. Seeing Invisibility from Volo's Eye. You can get this in Act 1 after you save him from the Goblin's camp. He will go to your camp, and you can tell him about your little worm problem. He'll try to fix it in a gross way, but I think the payout is worth it. This does physically alter your character as well. It gives them 1 dead eye, which some people might find offensive, but I think it looks cool. Partial Ceramorphosis. I drank some more of the Emperor's Kool-Aid, and now I have more illicit powers. I can even fly. I filled my brains with worms, and have many buffs related to that in the end. There's usually enough to have 2 characters maxed out with brain worms. I like to get every single power possible. Destroy Undead. This is a cleric thing, and it does radiant damage when I successfully turn undead. Domain Spells. This is just the War Cleric spell list. Draconic Ancestry Green. I got it for Poison Resist. I find poison to be an extremely common damage type early in the game, and through traps and world events. It's something that you can also do through a spell later on, but I like it early. Forbidden Knowledge, the Necromancy of Thay, Act 1. There's a secret area under the abandoned town. Like I say, it is a secret, but should you figure it out, you'll get a +1 wisdom saving throw. And more later. I took the Resilient feat, Wisdom. This evened out my stats to give me an extra +1, and I find that wisdom saving throws are quite common. This feat is kind of like just a warm blanket and feels soft and protects me. Slayer Knowledge. Volo, in Act 3 after being rescued, will come to your camp again. He has a book that will teach you about the Slayer form of the Ballists. This happened to me, I think, because I was the Dark Urge. This book will teach you how to not be afraid of them, which can be helpful. Tharkiate Codex Blessing. Not sure how to pronounce that, but after every long rest, you start with 20 temporary hit points. This is part of the Necromancy of Thay quest. Be careful. This also unlocks a special spell where you can summon 4 ghouls. It's recently been changed from 6 to 4, and you don't have direct control over the ghouls, but I do find it still to be great The ghouls have paralysis claws, so whenever they attack, there's a chance of paralyzing their target. Unstable blood. My blood explodes now. A silly quest that you can start in Act 2 in the tower. It's not really useful, but it's fun. She does sell explosive blood grenades later on as well in Act 3. War Priest lets you make a second attack as a bonus action. Because clerics don't get just a second attack, this is how they do that. I find it to be quite useful, especially if somebody just needs one more bonk. Unlisted buffs are a +2 to wisdom from Mother Superior's memory. This is a quest in Act 3 regarding Shart and her past. Everlasting Vigor potion. This is a +2 permanent strength bonus. I made my vampire boyfriend bite the drow. She gave me the potion, but Astarion broke up with Petal because of it. And musical instrument proficiency. Petal played along with Almira before she visited her back at the camp. They were going to be friends, but it turned out different. With 24 AC and a +14 to hit, Petal is a wall of hard-to-hit armor-plated Cleric of War. Thank you for checking out my video. If you liked it, please subscribe. Give me the thumbs up. I'm trying my best. This is a new type of video for me. Tell me if you like it.